My soon-to-be ex-husband's text sent a tickle up my spine, crawling like a spider, vertebra by vertebra, until the feeling exploded down my shoulders, making goosebumps rise in spite of the warm mountain air breezing through the open window. Why was George talking like this now, after he and I had finally reached our tentative verbal agreement regarding custody of our 2-year-old? I flipped the notifications away and checked my latest text from George's mom, Ruth, instead. There was little Alex, happy and sandy, on the Haywood's massive porch in Montauk. Immediately, I felt that typical mother pull, the desire for a little space from your kid at war with your primal instinct to be hugging on them, wiping their boogers, and popping Cheerios into their tiny little mouths at all times. It was strange to be so far away from Alex for a whole week, like my left limb had been abandoned hundreds of miles away, but I knew it was necessary. I needed this time to get everything together. I sent a heart eyes emoji back to Ruth and set my phone on the rough-hewn wooden countertop just as the bartender, a 20-something woman with blunt-cut bangs, a septum piercing, and a wreath of ivy inked across her shoulder, put my plate before me. "It's hot," she said as she pushed it an inch or so toward me. "Watch your fingers. Refill?" She pointed to my glass, empty apart from sudsy foam crawling up the side. "Why not?" I smiled, and she traded one glass for another, which she filled from a tap behind her, then set another draft of amber yellow liquid in front of me. The beer in question was a locally sourced saison, hinted with citrus and low on alcohol content, my preference in the 2 years since I'd had Alex. My Sunday night margaritas with my former best friend, Willa, extra salt, no kids, had been my only real exception. I took a sip, and the bartender ran a rag over each tap, then turned back to me. "You up here just for the weekend?" "Oh," I said, setting my drink down. To this day, I still got nerves striking up a conversation with someone new, especially someone who seemed as cool and self-assured as this girl did, unless it was for a story and I had a notepad or a tape recorder in hand. The week, actually, but I just got in. I came straight here." "Good choice," she said. She glanced around the place, a bar/cafe that was caught between the lunch and dinner rushes, and empty apart from a guy reading the paper in the corner. "From the city?" "Technically, yes," I said. "Brooklyn, but I'm actually originally from the Adirondacks area. Old Forge." "Cool," she said. "I'm from around here, but I have a cousin up there. Bit of a different vibe, isn't it?" "That's an understatement," I said with a laugh. "Feels like it's nothing but city people up here now." "Right?" the girl said. "But hey, good for business at least." I smiled politely, then took a bite of my burger, topped with a fried egg. Yellow ooze ran down the side of the bun, and I wiped my finger with a napkin, just as the girl pushed an extra stack my way. Through the window, I took in the view of downtown Woodstock, a crunchy, chic mountain town smack dab between the city and my hometown of Old Forge. Clear blue skies on top. A stretch of shops selling everything from crystals to comfort shoes on the bottom. The outline of the Catskill Mountains sandwiched in between. Most people saw something charming, a storybook. After all, even the name of Woodstock's main downtown strip was quaint, Tinker Street. As if a child with a set of wooden blocks and interlocking train tracks had made it up after their lunchtime nap. But for me, between the hippies and hipsters, tarot card readers and twee dog breeds, it was hard to see anything but the city, spreading its tendrils wide. Even after years living there, I always felt like I had to be on in Brooklyn, and I feared Woodstock would be no different, but I didn't really have a choice. George would never let me take Alex back up to Old Forge, but he had finally agreed to let our son split his time between Brooklyn and here. "You still have family up in the Adirondacks?" the bartender asked. I chewed quickly, surprised she wanted to keep talking, but not unhappy about it. "My mom and sister," I said, picturing Mom in the lounge chair she'd reupholstered 3 times, her leg propped on a floral ottoman. She was homebound for the next 6 weeks with a severely broken ankle. I felt awful not being there to help her, but Rachel, my sister, was staying with her at least. They were probably eating craisins and watching bad reality TV right now, and my heart swelled. God, I missed them. My life with George had been so very different than theirs, and it had made it hard sometimes to truly connect. But all that was changing now.